All right, now we're ready to start our proposed profile. I went ahead and saved this out twice. First, I saved it as example number 1, and then I went back and saved it as example number 2 because we're going to do it 2 times. So if you take a look, you can see that I've been saving these along the line, and you can see I've got one saved as start profile example number 1 and profile number 2. It's the exact same drawing right now. So when I start example number 2, I won't have to delete everything I just did. I'll have a fresh one. So just go ahead and save it out twice. One with example number 1 name and one with example number 2 name. All right, so let's get started. Go to the Model tab, and we're going to create a profile. Now here's another thing that you can do, because I like to do this too so I can see what my plan and profile looks like. I am going to go to the View tab, View, and I am going to come over here underneath Model Viewports. I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to go 2 horizontal views. That'll split my screen in half, and then I can actually look at the plan view up here and the profile view down here. Granted, I'm going the wrong direction. You could do a D view at the top, enter, twist 180 to get them both aligned visually. Just make sure that this doesn't, if you had, when you go to the this view, it still looks okay. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so now I'm going left to right, and I'll start off my profile by the existing elevation here. Now, I'm thinking I want a low point, you know, along the line. Maybe the lowest point would be down here. All right, so this one's going to have a start point, a low point, and then we're going to tie in to maybe existing grade or a little bit higher over here. Okay, so tying into existing grade. So I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to go to the profile, and then I'm going to go to profile creation tools. Click on that. There is a toolbar that will pop up, and mine is where? So when I did that, it says select a profile to create profile. Select profile view to create profile. So I'm going to switch down here, and I'm going to select this one. Now give it a name. I'm going to say proposed road A. The style is going to be proposed profile, and I'm going to let everything else be default. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. And what pops up is this toolbar. All right, I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to draw tangents with curves. So I'm going to either have a sag, or I'm going to have a vertical curve as a sag or a crest. Now the start point, I'm going to use my O-snap, and I'm going to turn my ortho off. Make sure that's not on. I'm going to hit Shift and then right click, end point here. And then I'm just going to draw a line down to here, apparent, and I'm going to do intersection. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, that's at 1525, and then I'm going to bring it back up, and I'm actually going to come above it. I'm going to come, and I'm going to hit the intersection here. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. So basically it's creating a profile, and it is I'm going to end up having to grade back down. But for the most part, I want to keep my project draining inside. Now, this is the start point. So PVI, point of vertical intersection station, it starts here because I don't have any information at the 0 plus 0, 0, and that's fine. And it goes down at 1.36%, and then you have a vertical curve that is 200 feet, okay? It has a low point station, a PVI, and a PVI station. See this dot right here? That's the absolute low point, okay? And you could grip edit this and move it so it comes back here. We can also grip edit it and be like, no, we really should have tied in F3. I turn on my O-snaps. Didn't snap to where I thought it would. There, okay. So these are the types of things you can adjust. You can also adjust by clicking this button here, Profile Grid View, and what pops up is this dialog box. Let me pull this out like that. Maybe I don't, let me move this over a little bit so you can see it. Like that. Okay, so maybe I don't want a 200-foot radius. Maybe I want a 150-foot radius vertical curve. Vertical curve links are dependent on the K value. So you want a K value of a certain elevation based on the DOT green manual, which says to give a comfortable ride depending on if it's a curve or if it's a sag. So you can see I'm in a sag. And it automatically labels these for me, gives me the information, K values, my PVIs, etc. You can also adjust the elevation by okay, I want this at 78.5, okay, and be like that. All right. Now, I'm going to, the other thing that you're looking at, let's say, when you're making your highs and low points, it's important to know where your low point is. So this says my station low point is 1447.75. If I look at 14, there's 14, there's 1450, 75 is in here. I don't want my low point in between stations. I want my low point to be, you know, in between. I'd like it to be on a lot line because putting inlets on the lot line is the most important. So I'm going to draw a line between these 2 points, okay? Now I need to know what that dead center point is because I'm going to put an inlet on this lot line and an inlet on that lot line. So how do I figure out what that station is? That's pretty simple. So I'm going to come up here to annotate. I'm going to click the little symbol of the tag and I'm going to go alignment. I am going to go offset fixed point, standards fine, and I'm going to add a label. It's going to say select an alignment down here. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to select that alignment. Now I'm going to hit shift, right click, intersection at that point right there. So I need my low point station to be 1468.05. Now, the reason is if we put an inlet in somebody's, between somebody's property line, their driveway is going to have an issue. So that's going to be a construction issue. So I'm going to draw a line at 14. So I'm going to come down here to this portion of viewport. I'm going to type in PL. I'm going to click to the endpoint here, turn my ortho on, click on that, and I'm going to bring it straight up. Now I am going to offset. So offset, and it's going to be 68.05. There. That is where my low point needs to be. That's 14. I'm going to get rid of that. So what I can do is if I'm not stuck at a certain elevation, a certain slope, then I can grip edit this and move it along. I'm going to turn my ortho off and my O snaps off until I get this plus symbol basically on top of where my low point is. If I look at the data, you can see that, if you look, let me get that off of there. If you look at this now, you can see that my low point is 1467, and I said I needed 1468. So what you can do is zoom in, and you can move it over like that. You can also adjust these numbers here. So now let's see what it says. 6808. What you could do, just another method, is, so see how it says 1458? What if I did it at 14? So I need to move it back to the left. So maybe I change it to just 58 without any zeros. I delete that off and I hit enter. Now it's too much, so I was wrong. So I do 30 because it was 38. And perfect. Okay. That's other options. You can also change the PVI. You can change the slope. These are just methods. Usually you can, I always use a specific slope. So I like the 1.5, and I like the 1. In Florida, we are so flat that usually your roadways are nothing less than we don't really like it anything less than 0.35. So that makes constructability really hard and drainage not good. It means it's so flat that water is having a hard time running off. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and close these out here, and then I'm going to go to my profile. Now you can see the profile information here and here. Usually I don't like these cut off, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm also going to get rid of that line. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move this viewport over. Well, I'm going to move both of these over because I like to see my vertical curve all in one view. It doesn't have to. I'm going to turn my ortho on and pull this out to about here. And then I'm going to grip edit these, and then I'm going to bring it back perpendicular to here, and grip this one and go perpendicular to here. Okay, just so I can see the proper view. I'll have to squish this viewport up a little bit because I don't want to see that. There is other ways to fix this, but you get the gist. Okay, so that looks pretty good. When it prints, it looks tiny now, but in the big scheme of things, when you print this at scale, it looks fine. Okay, so you can even grip this and if you want to keep it on there, but that's where we're going to put our low point if we ever did a design. Okay, on a lot line. All right, that's it for this one. I'm going to do another video on a different style of profile. I'm going to show you the cresta and a sag. All right. So, well, let me pause before I let you go to the next one. I'm going to show you how to print these. So when you upload these to me, I want you to create PDFs of them. So what you're going to do is you're already in one of the tabs. If you hit Shift on your keyboard and you click the second tab, it will highlight also. Then you're going to right click on your mouse, and then you're going to go Publish Selected Layouts. So you're going to pick that. Your layouts are already set, or should be set, since you copied it from the first one. Okay, and a dialog box will come up that'll look like this. It took a bit of time. It took at least a minute or two for this to actually pop up, this dialog box to pop up. So when it does, make sure it says Publish To and it says PDF. Make sure it says Preset AutoCAD PDF. The location you're going to change. Mine's going to my work address. So I'm going to change location by changing Publish Options. I default typically and put my PDFs into a PDF folder on my documents file. So I'm going to browse out to my desktop. I'm sorry, my documents. I put my stuff underneath various plots, and I'm going to select that folder. I'm going to say, make sure it says multi. All these should be checked. You should look at your screen should look like this, and then go OK. And these are the two that are being published. All right, PDF looks good, and then I'm going to hit Publish. It's going to say save the file name, so I'm just going to save it as is. Leave it the default name. Make sure your all's name's on the file name of the drawing, because you're going to be uploading both the CAD file and the PDF file. You'll also get this in the dialog box to pop up with this. Your printing or publishing job is processing the background, and that's fine. That means you can actually go back and do other things. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and then I'm going to open up my second drawing. So basically example number 2. All right. So while that is printing, I'll go ahead and open up the drawing, and I'll pause until the drawing file, my drawing file should pop up in Bluebeam. So I will show you what that looks like before moving on to video, the next video on example 2. Also, as I'm waiting on this, you can see down here, there's a little printer symbol, and it says printing 2 of 2, so I know I'm real close. All right, so now it says plot and publish completed, no errors. So if I go to my my documents underneath various plots, and there's the example project. Mine will open up in Bluebeam. I don't know what yours is. Looks like it's on a layer that did not print. Nope, it printed, my bad. And yes, so you can see that you have, now your print might not look as good as this because I don't know what the default printing settings are. So here's the thing is when you go to, I take that back. You can go ahead and do it that way, but it may default and say that the pen settings aren't available. So if I go, I'm going to show you one other way. So on this one, go print. If that method doesn't work, see how it says style here? Change that to monochrome, apply a layout, and then preview. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, monochromatic, and this is what you're all going to have to do. My bad. And then just go okay, and then save, and then it'll automatically pop up. You're going to do it again. This is actually faster, but it's only faster if you only have a few drawings to create. You can go to the print up here. You can type in plot, however you all do it. Change the plot style to monochromatic, apply layout, and then okay. And then save that one because it'll be the name of the tab, and save. This is what I want you to upload to me. Okay, now it may, like again, the text may look a little bit small right now, but when you've got a lot of other information on it, the height isn't bad. I don't want to start changing the height of the text until I find out whether we need to or not, and I can show you that later, but for right now, this is fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and we'll start the next video.